Good morning and welcome to One Financial Markets Morning Commentary. I'm Andrew Johnston. Okay, let's go over events of last week and of the week to come. I've just got a Dow chart here. The Trump slump, we've had little or no recovery from that, so we've put a base in here. So what happened? So CEOs disbanded from the Strategic and Policy Forum, which started this lovely move here. Trump had his Charlottesville disaster, and basically a complete catastrophe in terms of him promoting himself as a human being. It was just awful. Steve Bannon, his chief strategist at the White House, was removed from office as well. Steve Bannon was started from when he over 7 months ago in the position that was created. Actually, there wasn't a chief strategist position before. But his history is in media and investment banking. He's also a director of films. I don't know if anyone knew that. But he is also runs a right-wing publication called Breitbart. And what is happening now is that he has been ousted because he was getting a bit touchy on the North Korean situation. And now all hell's going to break loose. This guy's a loose cannon. He's going to go after people. He's got vendettas against people at the White House. And he's actually gonna rock their world. So watch this space. In America, if it's not in already so much turmoil, it's just watch. It's stuff in the last quarter of the year is really gonna turn it on its head. I believe everything is like a chess game, and this guy is now. Got specific moves he can make in order to make things very, very uncomfortable for the president and uncomfortable for the US. Just in terms of the way he obviously has information on people there after he's 7 months there. He's not going to go 7 months in the White House and not get a few inside bits and pieces. So we'll just have to watch this space. But it's an interesting one, and he does look like if you turn on him, he will unleash hell on you. So we'll see what happens next. So from this week, data, apart from GDP on Thursday for the UK, we're really all angling up for the Jackson Hole Policy Conference, which starts lovely from the 25th on Wednesday, but we have Janet Yellen and Draghi speaking on the Friday. Of all the days, the Friday before the weekend. Once again, how can the market divulge, digest, take it all in? If you've got Yellen, I think, speaking 3 o'clock, and Draghi 8 o'clock at night, where the market's closed 2 hours later. Just absolutely insane. So hopefully it doesn't say anything that's too stupid. Just looking back on, just another point. If we hadn't thought it had all gone away, here it comes to haunt us again. So we thought we kind of brushed that North Korea, USA, ballistic missiles, nuclear war, Armageddon all aside. No, guess what? It's the 10-day joint military exercise between South Korea and the US kicks off. That won't be antagonizing anyone. They do it every year. They've done it for, I think, the last 10 years. It's purely a defensive measure. Of course it is, yeah. Purely defensive, and North Korea known about it for the last 10 years, which they have done. However, once Donald Trump sent a few more destroyers down there, a few more aircraft carriers down there, it's not just a kind of low-key affair now. There is potential. So, someone pushes the button and a missile goes, 5 meters over the border, just by accident. All these things do not help relationships, and they're slightly antagonistic, of course. But we'll keep our eye on that. We know that's happening, and anything can happen in these situations, as we know. But Jackson Hole's the real main one. Starts on the 25th, and the big players start. They're talking on Friday when everyone's trying to get away. So it's going to be boring all week. I'll give you an overview of some of the main markets. Euro-dollar last week. This line here indicates the week of the trading week. We had some breakouts, but pretty much 80 pip high to low. I mean, it's just boring. And look at that. I mean, we can even get the range bound, then the breakouts, then the retracements. So if you're quite happy to take about 100 pips worth of heat, you were absolutely fine last week. cable as well after we had the CPI disaster drop off, PPI, CPIs, all the rest of the eyes. And then we have been this, not even this, I mean, high to low, just tedious. We did have a small breakout in gold, got above 1300 on Friday. So let's have a look at it here. I was zooming above 1300, and then it just sold off towards the end of the session. And to be honest, is just profit taking, or people just. I mean, with all the events going on, which I listed in the previous chart in the down. And people don't want to hold gold as some sort of safe haven or some sort of insurance against the unknown. And people are taking P&L here. Right, well then, if gold isn't a safe haven or any form of risk aversion anymore, then what else do we look at? Well, we're going to have to look at maybe the Swiss, and then we have to look at the yen in terms of currency safe havens. Because gold at the moment, it just can't get going. And I remember last year, February, we had about $120 move in gold over 3 days. We're barely in a day. We'll barely maybe get above $28. It's really, we're not having these kind of massive moves anymore, and it's very maintained quite well. I mean, if you've been in this and been short all the way up, then you've managed. You're absolutely fine. It just seems that there's no one's keeping any skin in the game. When I mean skin, I mean positions. Everyone's flattening out, and so they're not even bothered about having a safe haven asset over the weekend unless they're holding a big group of assets. So if they're just day trading, which a lot of people are, they've caught the movement up, and they're just they're taking their P&L and getting out and being flat for the weekend. And I think a lot of these trading desks out there over the summer, and I don't blame them, to be honest. Day trade, flat, come in the next day. If they're interested in a position, they take one. If they're not, they just leave it, and they'll do this until we get through all of the summer period where all of our lovely politicians and on the beach drinking prosecco and eating caviar and all that sort of stuff. So I don't blame them, but pullbacks like this are basically are going to be part and parcel of the trading day for the rest of this month, maybe early September, until the school kids go back, just on the basis that people don't want to hold positions longer than 24 hours, and who can blame them with the stuff that's going on. But from me in the front lines, have a good trading day, and we'll keep you updated with all the events tomorrow. Bye.